Hey, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakah double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstones. Salutations to the sincere Akim that push this truth with no due diligence and sincerity. Yo, the third world cometh quickly. Zelensky went to the White House, and this is all for show. This is just, what's the word I'm looking for? Bread and circuses for the media. But Zelensky went to the White House looking for support, looking for Trump to back down with his rhetoric about Ukraine being the aggressors, and ultimately for basically for an opportunity to to turn the tide and get America back in, or at least for them to admit, well, not even to admit because he wasn't, but to basically turn their opinion around that he was in the right. And ultimately, man, they let him have it, which goes to show you that clearly the Americans are thinking differently from the Europeans. Clearly there's going to be European leaders that are upset by what Trump says in this video. And ultimately, man, yo, World War III is on its way. Let me play this video real quick.
Yes, contract. Yes, but after that, he broke this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around.
I just want to say that chair as well, that black chair in the middle. I originally thought that was Trump's head on top of the chair, but that is demonic. That black chair to the right of Donald Trump, one with the headpiece in it, yo. Now, you know, Washington, D.C. was built on extreme levels of witchcraft and masonry, but anyway.
And forcing conscripts.
And the spiritual look on top of the flag mast, they have two eagles as well. And then look at the symbol on the desk in front of them, the American eagle. Anyway.
To the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you see what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people in your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong. You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Yo, Trump is hilarious. You gotta love it. But you know he's upsetting. Like with the elite, ultimately the end goal is financial domination of the world, to have the population shipped, but there's differences in how they want to achieve that. And Trump is upsetting a lot of people, and he's gonna cause rifts with these other European leaders, but he doesn't care.
Right now, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
Hey man, you can find that interview on YouTube, but that's where I want to interject. I'm going to make a trip to the plantation soon. This is Revelations 11, straight to the point, and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The Bible speaks of 3 great woes that were going to take place, and says that the second one has already taken place. And then the third one, the third great woe, the third great destruction cometh quickly. That's a reference to World War III. Yeah, World War III, the war to end all wars, man. that we are currently in the midst of right now. And it's important to know that this is going to be a devastating war, man. A war of the kind that has never, war of a kind that has never been fought before. Because you see, there were bombs, like light level bombs in World War II. There was, automatic gunfire and all the rest of it. So war has advanced from sword and shield weaponry, but this was coming. this, man, it's going to be fought with burning and fuel of fire, as the scripture is going to go on to say. And because the Lord has created new types of weaponry, nuclear, man, where ultimately, man, shit turns into a meat grinder. A navy, yeah, with battleships and and large reserves of soldiers in one particular location is a weakness. Infantry, in terms of army, with tanks rolling down into another country, are a weakness in that situation. When things turn nuclear, which they will, all bets are off. Isaiah 9 verse 5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So what this is referring to is when people will do old school warfare, right? They meet in a battlefield, they'll be clanging of swords, close up close combat. Then things developed a bit now anyway, where now, sometimes there's even still trench warfare. In Ukraine, there's elements of trench warfare going on where people are meeting in the same field. They're not fighting sword on sword with skill and hand-to-hand combat. It's now more about, luck and shooting down another man with a gun or snipers. But ultimately, they still need to man. They still need to man up. They still need to get their loins, get their boots on, go into the battlefield, start shooting at each other, have an element of precision. What's coming next in World War III, man, was nuclear destruction, man. An individual in America being able to press a couple buttons and letting off devastating destruction that's going to destroy and decimate people over in the east, and also affect other surrounding countries, man, and water supplies and foods and animals and vegetation and life, the same vice versa. Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle of the warriors with the confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Yeah, the old style of warfare, and even in modern times, there's been atomic, in Nagasaki, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but nobody has experienced nuclear destruction, man. Different levels of annihilation, and it's coming. America is totally going to be decimated, and and various other regions in the West, but also the East, all over the planet. Israel, you can forget about it, wiped out, man, because the Lord's gonna have to restart that place for us, and garments rolled in blood. But this war shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Yeah, this war is gonna be with burning and fuel of fire. What's that? Fire that the Lord's talking about, man? The nuclear kind. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, the nuclear weapon, man. And I have created the waster to destroy. See, when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, yeah, the 5 cities in total, it was a form of nuclear, what we now call nuclear destruction, but it came from the chariots. What Esau Edom has done is that he's capitalized that technology, because the Lord has given him the power and the know-how to do it, splitting the atom and causing explosions. And ultimately, he's now, for the longest, America was going around with that technology, terrorizing nations, because they knew that, there was nothing that they could do to fight against it. Since then, the weak have said they're strong. You've got nations like North Korea, India, with a very advanced military. You've got though they're supposed to be allies, Japan, one of the countries the country they hit with atomic warfare back in the day, now coming up and saying that they're strong and ready for it, man. A lot of nations that America used to bully and just waltz over are now about it, man. It says, I've created the waster to destroy. You see, the Lord is going to cause millions to die in the first death. yeah, which was by the flood when the waters opened up, and during the time of Noe and his children, his Lord saved 8 souls, Noah, his 3 sons, and all their wives, including Noah's wife. And in the time to come, the Lord's going to destroy the earth by fire. And you see what's going to be a major cause to what the scripture speaks about as the lake of fire? It's going to be those nuclear missiles, man. When they explode and just expand and, yeah, and cause a fiery blitz wherever, you know, in the immediate, not even, I was going to say the immediate region, but a very large portion of the region surrounding them. The Lord is going to cause great death. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. However, on the flip side, even in the midst of all of this great destruction, his elect are going to be all good. They're going to be preserved. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Jehovah, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Because the Lord is the one that ultimately, man, has guaranteed his elect safety on, from the very foundations of the earth. Now, we have an inkling that we are off that number, but in order to escape what's coming, this World War III, the time of evil such as never has been upon the face of the planet Earth, man. We gotta be ready. Ezekiel 7:5. Thus saith the Lord Jehovah, an evil and only evil, behold, is come, an end is come. The end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. Repeat that again. Thus saith the Lord Jehovah, an evil and only evil, behold, is come. Only a dark time upon the face of the planet Earth. An end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. Dark times, man. Badness, real badness, is what's coming from the face of the planet Earth. And ultimately, man, you see what's going on. America is spearheading the vision across the European Union, and that's ultimately going to cause rifts within Europe, man. Just earlier, Macron was in the US talking about how trying to correct Trump when he made a statement about Ukraine starting the war, and he basically pledged his allegiance in a nutshell, man. In a politically correct way for Ukraine. You had a situation where Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, was in America also, and ultimately Trump overrid him, and basically in a nutshell was saying, listen, Ukraine are to blame. You have, as of recent, the Ukrainian Prime Minister, man, just getting lambasted in the White House, and ultimately, man, it's gonna cause rifts in the EU. Like I said earlier, Trump is upsetting a lot of people, man. But you see, what that's gonna ultimately end in is that nuclear fire, man, coming from what was once the allies of America onto her, because the land of America is going to be totally decimated and destroyed. Different prophets saw the visions, man, of the Lord totally decimating that land, man. Absolutely wasting it. Revelation 17, verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues. So, John the Revelator was seeing a vision. He saw a woman sitting on the beast, and in front of it, a vast amount of waters. And the angel was breaking it down to him that the waters represented multitudes, different nations and tongues, like low hundreds and thousands and millions of people. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. These are 10 kingdoms. Go back to the original setup of the EU. Now you've got about 27 members, but really and truly, when you break it down to the original set, and also countries that have split up between each other, they're a total of 10. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So the horns on the beast, the EU nations, the many nations were going to hate the main nation represented by the whore, being America, the daughter of Babylon, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So the angel said those horns are going to burn the whore with fire. Now, of course, horns are not just going to break off a beast's skin and just start shooting fire out there. It was a symbolic reference, man, and we know that to be the EU nations that are, originally started off with 10, that are in bed with America ultimately, and pretty much have been aligned to her for the longest. Although there have been rifts here and there, are going to turn their alliances, and some of them are going to betray her, including Great Britain. Great Britain is actually going to be one of them, pursuant to the scripture saying that America's basically she that bore America, thy mother shall be so confounded. Like Britain that brought forth America, and that like Americans are British rebels that basically broke off. They were like, yeah, America. Sorry, let me rewind. America is basically formed of British rebels that broke off, man. You know, during the War of Independence in America, they broke off from Britain and set up their own colony in America. Yeah, England brought forth America, and ultimately, man, Britain is going to be confounded and hate America and basically burn them with fire, man. They're going to be one of the many nations in the EU that do that, and so ultimately, it's going to be something that Trump does around this circumstance and wider issues that's going to just make it too much for the European leaders, and they're going to basically turn their alliances against America, man. And Russia, who at the moment seems like they're on the good side of America, are going to be the ones that are leading the charge. Pursuant to Ezekiel 38, you know, it speaks about the nations that Russia is going to be a guard unto. Death and major wars coming, man. But yeah, it says, and these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh has put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So for prophecy's sake, for now, these nations are going to be on the side of America, but the time is coming where they're going to let loose. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? The city that Zelensky has to go to ask for protection against another big aggressor, Russia, you know. But ultimately, Russia is going to lead a charge against America, and a lot of America's former allies, or that currently seem like allies, are going to abandon her, man, and they're going to burn her with fire and literally, man, let loose on America. The time is coming, and we are in that time. Yeah, man, time of great mourning and great destruction is upon this earth, man. And the Lord Jehovah Shai is going to oversee it. You better believe that dark times are on their way. That's why Habakkuk saw the vision of the destruction and was worried and scared. Ezra saw it and feared. Isaiah speaks about great destruction, man, coming forth. You know, Habakkuk even asked the Lord if he was angry at the rivers and trees with the destruction he's going to bring, because they all saw the destruction of America, man. It's not a light thing we're about to witness, but the Lord Jehovah is going to cause great war upon the face of the planet Earth. Hence why, like it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, man, and strength of salvation. Dark testing times are coming, but hey, like Yahweh said, there will be wars and rumors of wars, but all these things must come to pass, man. But the end is not yet, man. Hey, when the war kicks off and Esau Edom ultimately throws out the RFID microchip, man, we'll know it's time. Shalom, Akim. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabar. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabar. Shalom.